Good day, good people. It is Stephanie of Dr. Stephanie Creates, and welcome to the channel if you're new. And if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. Today, I want to share with you another Friday fountain pen day. If you did not watch my Friday fountain pen day last week, please go by and check that video out and let me know what you think. That was my first one. So, this would be my second installment of the said Friday fountain pen. Now, I can say I don't believe that every Friday there will be a new fountain pen to share. My bank account definitely would not like that. But we can still celebrate fountain pens on Friday. They just don't always have to be a new pen. So, with that being said, though, today we are going to be unboxing a new pen to me. Now, as you can see here, I have some Leonardo Memento Zeros on my right, and then a Leonardo Furore on my left. I have fallen in love with Leonardo nibs. I love the nibs. They're smooth. They actually even look nice. Just even you see that? Even just design of the pen is nice. I really like that. They are slowly becoming one of my favorites, or slowly becoming my favorite. They're catching up to Esterbrook pretty quickly, so Esterbrook better look out. Um, but I think they are comparative. You may or may not agree with me, but I think they're a close comparison. Um, and they are just a little cheaper as well. So with that being said, I have chosen another Furore, and I hope that I'm saying that right, pen to add to my collection of Leonardo's. So let's go ahead and open her up. And we're also going to see if we can choose an ink to ink her up with during this video. Okay, so let's just move her out the way, or move those things out of the way. Okay, we'll come to a fresh page and grab all of my inky goodness to help me out with some swatches. But the pen, I did get this pen. I believe it is also in a fine nib. I did pick this up on Vanessa's website. I'm usually a big ink girl for that site, but in this order, I did pick up a pen. I know what this pen is, but let's just look at what she actually looks like. I know that didn't make any sense, but let's just go ahead and take her out. Okay. Standard box, standard guarantee information, yada, yada, yada. We'll read that and look at that later. But let's look at this pen. Quick little ASMR to get her out. And this pen is called Ginger. And I would think that they would be spot on with this beautiful orange, brown, tan. It's a beautiful color. Let's see if you guys can get it up close. And I'll be honest, this camera and this light is not doing her any justice. Beautiful pen for the fall. And see, just based on the color of it being ginger, and of course the picture I looked at in selecting her, I have pulled what I think, or what I consider to be, nice fall ginger pen or ginger ink colors to ink her up with. And again, yeah, she is a fine nib, and just look at her. Now this is an elastic flex nib, simply because I wanted to try one, and All of these Leonardos over here are either fine or medium, and they are interchangeable nibs. So I had plenty of those to work with. So I wanted to try something different. So on this pen, sorry, trying to get you guys to see that. This is an elastic fine nib that I wanted to try. So let's ink her up. Okay. Those of you that know me and know me well, if you think about a gingery color ink, you know what I'm going to think of first, which is my favorite ink of all time right now that still has me in the chokehold. And that's my Sailor Monyo ink in U. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink that up last because by default, I'll jump to that ink. Y'all know me, I'll choose that ink. And I want to try to use something else that I haven't used before. So I have 4 Diamine inks over here to the side, 1 Monteverde ink, and 1 Dominant Industry ink in Ginger Chicken. And Ginger Chicken does have shimmer. I don't tend to shy away from shimmer in my fine nib pens, and maybe I should, but I have had great experiences so far with shimmer in fine nibs. So we're going to try it maybe with this Ginger Chicken. And I just realized I have such a huge sample of this ink that was my first time opening the ink, and it was causing me a little bit of a struggle. That's why you didn't see me there on camera for a minute. Well, now she's open. And let's see. Again, this is Dominant Industry. This is called Ginger Chicken. So we got ginger and ginger right now. And y'all know me, I'm always forgetting something. I need to write what this is. So this is Dominant Industry. I'm just going to put DI. Ginger Chicken. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to do Fire Opal from Monteverde. I'm going to shake it up. See what we come up with for Fire Opal Monteverde. Okay, now that's a pretty color too. Okay. Let me move this so I can stop reaching across the camera to grab that pen. Okay, and again, this is dripping. Okay, Verde, Fire, Opal, which would be a great contender, especially if I'm getting shy about maybe not wanting to put that shimmer in the pen. I'm liking Fire Opal. And I know it is only mid-July, but I know I am not the only one who is very, very, very ready for fall. I know I'm not. Can't be. Okay, an oldie but a goodie. Ancient Copper. And can you guys believe I've had this 30 mil? I got this back when I first fell down the rabbit hole a year ago, and I don't think I've ever put it in a pen. I don't think I have. If I have, I don't remember. And I can say that with the rest of these Diamond inks that I've pulled to look at. I don't remember them in a pen. Okay. Let me do this. Do you guys think I have a type so far with this third ink in a row? You know, I like to use the word I'm attracted to the pen. I'm attracted to the color. I guess I'm attracted to ginger, orangish, reddish inks, huh? But they are pretty. The question is, why do I have 3? I heard some of you guys answer, and you know you have 3 and 4 of the same color of an ink that you like too. So don't be picking at me. You know, it's just the planner journaler in us. And guess what? I always say, we not hurting anybody. Okay. Now I think I'm going to get a little bit of a color change. I'm going to go in with Diamond Amber that I think is going to give me more yellow leaning maybe. Let's see. Scoot up so you guys can see. Yeah, I felt like there was going to be a little bit more yellow leaning in this color. Okay, Amber. Interesting. Now that's very light for writing. Okay. That's Amber. And then we have 2 more. And then, of course, we got my Sailor Mano. Okay, now we have Ochre. Okay. Sorry about that little rustle. I was just checking the camera to make sure I'm still in frame. Making sure I got the correct angles rather. Okay, here we go with Ochre. I think that's going to give me more of a brown. But I'm not mad at it. I'm actually not mad at it for a match now. I'm actually not mad at it, y'all, for a match. Especially if I want to lean in that colorway. That would be something different. And that's Ochre. You also know I'm not opposed to mixing an ink. Sorry for tapping and making that noise. I am not opposed to doing an ink mixture either. So let's keep that in mind. And then the last diamond is Sunset. And I think this has a little more red to it. More of a red tint. Yeah. me a little bit more of that. Okay. That has a little more red to it. Again, this is Sunset. Uh-oh, that was too juicy. Okay. And then last but not least, let's check on my best friend, Sailor Manyo U. I just love this ink, y'all. And y'all see why? Oh my goodness. I just love this ink. And then going back to what I'm saying, it's July, but I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for football. I'm ready for some cooler weather, but in the South, that's still not going to get me any coolness until November, unfortunately. But at least in my mind, I can say it's cooler. Telling you, some days I may just need to. So at this point in the video, good people, my baby microphone must have died. But I was simply stating about the heat here in the South, and I was putting down that last Sailor Manyo ink that I was trying desperately not to pick to be put in the ginger pen. Here I'm just talking about all of the colors again, and I'm trying to decide, and I'm asking you to put in the comments what you believe the ink should be for the ginger pen. I'm also stating here how I want the colors to dry a little bit more so that we could see them in their true state, whether there's some shimmer in any of them, some shading in any of them, and things of that nature. Just waiting on it to dry so we can look at the properties within each of the ink colors. So here I'm picking up my samples, bringing them closer to the camera to see or to get a better look at what ink. Then I also decide to lay the ginger pen in the journal in between the colors, again, hoping to just get a better look at the inks to see exactly what I would like to put in the pen. Other than that Sailor Manyo, of course. I tried really, really, really hard, guys. But I was leaning towards it just because that is the ink right now that just has me in a chokehold. I really, really love that color. And as I think I mentioned earlier in the video, it may just be because fall is my favorite season, but that color just gets me every time. So right here I'm showing, should I pick the Ancient Copper, the Diamond ink, or should I pick the Sailor? Those are the two that I've narrowed my choices down to. So then I finally decide, bite the bullet and use the Diamond ink because I have never used it in a pen before. And again, like I said earlier in the video, the Diamond ink is one of the first inks I ever purchased when I started in this journey of fountain pen and fountain pen inks. So with that being said, I picked the Diamond. You see me here shaking it up as I do every ink, whether it has a shimmer or not. For some reason, I have a habit of just shaking the inks. So I'm shaking it up, and I am using just the converter, not the feed with the nib on it, but I've gotten into the habit here recently to just ink up directly into the converter and then place the converter back into the feed of the nib, and then I was going to say force the ink out, but just drip the ink out that way. Um, Again, that started with me not wanting to stain nibs and stain feeds. And I've just been continuing to do it that way. So that's what I'm demonstrating here. I'm running the ink back out of the nib to get it to flow before I then just put the body back on the pen. Putting the pen back together, and now wanting to do just a little writing sample. And as I'm writing, once again, the nib is very smooth. I love a Leonardo, and I didn't expect this nib to be any different. So I'm just simply writing that this is an elastic fine nib that I got on this pen. And I'm just writing the name of the pen, again, the Leonardo. And I'm sure I'm just jibber jabbering as I'm writing. But I am very impressed with the nib and impressed with the ancient copper, because again, love the color. It's it's in my wheelhouse of colors. So the color was never the issue. I just never put it in a pen until now. Very happy with my choice. Very glad I decided to go with Diamine. And again, use the stuff I already have. Showing the pen here in all of its glory. I really, really like the pen, guys. I'm excited for it to be my new fall pen. That's what I've already named it. Even though I have it early and I've inked it up early, I am very excited to use it in the fall. So that's basically the end of the video. And like I always say, love on your family, and I'll see you soon.